And a very good morning to you, Grenada, on this, the third day of October 2018. Thanks a lot for joining us, folks, whether you're on the Facebook page or on GrenadaBroadcast, which we're having some difficulties with this morning. There's some problems with the server, which we are still trying to rectify. Hopefully, those will be sorted out later on today. And we're also out there on TuneIn and a number of other platforms like Radio Genre and Radio Garden. And later on today, we will be up on the YouTube channel as well, GrenadaBroadcast. So thanks for joining us. A lot happening here this morning. So we're not going to waste too much time. Let me tell you what's coming your way. There's a letter that has recently been written to the person behind the Silver Sands project, a gentleman by the name of Bagweeb Sa'iris. And you will be hearing that letter this morning. Then we have GTAWU's reaction, the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union. They have reacted to the Prime Minister's broadside on the health sector. We also have some reaction from the Grenada Trades Union Council. They too have reacted to the Prime Minister's broadside. And we do have a statement as well from the Health Minister, his reaction to the reaction of workers in the health sector. Now, that one, it's a pretty lengthy one, and I'm sure you're going to be hearing a bit of it when you listen to the national report this morning. But so much was said in that statement that I really want to make sure that you hear everything. So I'm going to read that statement for you verbatim, all right? But let's start with Silver Sands. Mr. Bagweeb Sa'iris, the man behind the Silver Sands project, resides in Switzerland and should have found out by now that even persons living in Switzerland are concerned about the recent developments occurring with the Silver Sands project here in Grenada. I'm in possession of a letter which was written to him expressing consternation about the project and would like to share that with you this morning. Dear Mr. Sa'iris, concerns and interest regarding Silver Sands project in St. George's, Grenada. Greetings in the well-being of Grenadians, Grenada, and your Silver Sands development project located in Grand Anse, Grenada. I am a Grenadian residing in Switzerland and closely follow the socio-economic activities in Grenada and the Caribbean. Out of greater concerns and interest, I am taking the liberty to communicate with your organization directly in the hope of bringing to your attention the level of some negative happenings your development has created in Grenada, probably not intended. Therefore, the question, how can your organization inject positive trust and a friendlier brand in Grenada? These concerns include 1. Substantial construction on wide areas of the public Grand Anse Beach, knowing that Grenada's laws prevent such development. There is no authority to override the existing law and grant special approval. 2. Wastewater. There is no adequate sewer system to filter raw waste from the surrounding hills, causing raw sewer discharge directly into the Grand Anse Sea. Already, the bay in front of your development has sometimes large areas of algae. It is not only an eyesore, but the forerunner of a much bigger problem. From what we hear, wastewater from your development goes straight into the same bay. Experts warn that there will be major hazards to the environment health, and economy, with a huge cost tag to medicate. It will affect the fishermen, vendors, unique fish species, beachgoers, and hotel and project investors, guests, and residents. I believe that a development such as yours in Grenada should represent a friendly, respectful, and economic benefit to your organization as well as our citizens. But when citizens are of the view that decisions and actions are not in their best interest, then the impact becomes negative for all parties. As of today, the secretive approach, disregard for existing process and rule of governance by our government agencies and your organization have now created a very bad taste in the mouths of many Grenadians. There have been many displays of protest, which are expected to expand into a possible crisis. There is also the possibility that the current conditions will even invoke a legal fight, causing delays for your project completion. I feel it is necessary to share these concerns with you so that your organization can get involved to prevent further unrest and at the same time give you the opportunity to provide solutions to benefit all parties. I want to thank you in advance for your consideration and look forward to your positive response and actions in the Silver Sands Development Project and any other development in Grenada. Respectfully, Chester Simon. Chester, as many of you may know, is a Grenadian who lives out there in Zurich in Switzerland, and he sent that letter to Mr. Cyrus last week. Okay, I promised I'd get that on the air for you. There you have it. Now, let's deal with a major issue, another major issue right here. I'm sure that many of you everybody's just aware right now of the fiasco which took place in New York this past week at a town hall meeting. Sparked an awful lot of interest here in Grenada and a lot of reaction in the media, social media, everywhere. Well, yesterday the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union sent me a press release, and I would like to share that with you this morning. It is captioned, GTAWU stands in solidarity with Grenada's health sector workers. Here's the text. The Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union expresses unwavering solidarity with the Public Workers Union and health sector workers of Grenada, GTUC, and Petite Martinique, following the disrespectful and unfair utterances by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell regarding their characters and competences. TAWU salutes the health sector workers of the state who have been working and continue to work under tremendous challenges in the pursuit of providing healthcare services to the nation. The whole country is aware that the health sector has not received the necessary attention and investment from governments. The whole country is aware that our health sector workers work in very deplorable conditions, facing shortages in medical supplies and equipment. The Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union understands the stress and demoralizing effects that the utterances of the Prime Minister would have on the workers, their families, and, by extension, the country. TAWU joins in the call for the Prime Minister to retract his utterances and further to commit his government to seriously addressing the needs of the health sector in order to improve the quality of service to the nation. To our comrades and the Public Workers Union, we once again pledge our firm solidarity in the fight for justice for all workers and respect for trades unions. Now, that's a statement which I received yesterday from GTAWU. And you may also remember that on yesterday morning's program, I read a statement which had been issued by the Prime Minister in response to the unrest that had been caused here over the past week. However, if my memory serves me right, I do not recall seeing anything about a retraction. Now, I'm going to take a little break here, and when I come back, you will hear the release that was sent to me yesterday by the GUTC, or the GTUC, the Grenada Trades Union Council. Okay, so let's take a little break here and come on right back.
So babe, Alberto and Beryl come and gone, right? So that means we still have Chris, Debbie, Florence, Michael, Patty, Sarah.
From the looks of it, Tony and Valerie might be coming as well. So we need to pick up some extra hurricane supplies.
You don't know how many hurricanes will be coming this season, so you need to be prepared. At Hubbard's Hardware and Building Supply departments and the Food Fair supermarkets, everything from canned foods, flashlights and batteries, to plywood, tarpaulin, lanterns, roof repair kits, water tanks, etc. are available. For over 90 years, we've helped you prepare for and recover from storms. Hubbard's is an integral part of your hurricane preparedness plan. Get discounts when using credit and debit cards.
It's good to be early. It's good to be early. Pay your Grenada bill on time.
Grenada Market has now introduced the Prime products to online shoppers in the UK via amazon.co.uk. Zeberpick, Nutmeg, Bourbonday and Mobiback are now available, with more products being added gradually. These products are shipped across the UK and Europe free of charge for Amazon Prime members and backed by Amazon's reputable customer service. Avoid international shipping. Buy in your local area. Amazon.com in the USA, Amazon.ca in Canada, and Amazon.co.uk in UK and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Alrighty, folks, so there you have it. Now, let's get to the response from the Grenada Trades Union Council. I see that the unions are becoming involved in this in a big way. They sent a release which is captioned GTUC in solidarity with the Public Workers Union and health sector workers. The Grenada Trades Union Council unreservedly condemns the comments made by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell regarding the committed and hard-working workers of the health sector. Such utterances from the Prime Minister could only result in further demoralization of the workers. Rather than address the burning issues of inadequate supplies of medicine, equipment, and facilities in the public sector and the public health care system, the Prime Minister sought instead to disrespect and smear the character of the committed and hard-working doctors, nurses, orderlies, securities, and all health sector workers. The Prime Minister went further to tell the whole wide world that our professionals in the health services are incompetent. The GTUC sincerely hopes that our people do not suffer the possible negative impact that such an irresponsible utterance can have on the country. This is in the context where most of our medical practitioners have been trained by some of the better medical universities and schools in the region and possibly the world. This is in the context where several of the health sector workers are recipients of government scholarships. If our workers were so incompetent, then the Prime Minister must explain to the nation why so many of our nurses are being sought after by foreign countries. What is even more alarming and disturbing is that these utterances were made in the presence of Grenada's Minister for Health, the Honorable Nicholas Steele, who sat there without even defending himself and the workers who fall under his charge. After all, if indeed there are such concerns in the health sector, then one of the questions that must be answered is, where would the buck stop? An obvious answer would most likely be the Minister for Health. The Grenada Trades Union Council is concerned that the Prime Minister may be showing signs of returning to his old ways. This is triggered by the fact that, among other observations, the Prime Minister is yet to acknowledge receipt of and respond to the GTUC's letter of September 5th, 2018, requesting a meeting to discuss matters of concerns within the sector. As the umbrella trade union body and as a member of the Committee of Social Partners, the GTUC calls on government and Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell to respect the workers of the country. The GTUC must also highlight that apart from the Prime Minister retracting his utterances, the government must speedily move to address the many challenges facing health sector workers. The Grenada Trades Union Council stands in solidarity with the Public Workers Union and the workers in the health sector in this period. That statement was issued by the Grenada Trades Union Council yesterday. Now, a lot of press releases flying all over the place yesterday. Now, here comes one from the Minister of Health. The Minister of Health has responded to all the brouhaha and excitement taking place as follows. And I just want to repeat that when we do bring you the national report in a few minutes, you'll probably hear parts of this release. But I thought that I should read the entire thing to you verbatim. All right? Fellow Grenadians, I speak to you today on a matter of grave concern to us all. The current state of affairs in our public health care service. I would like to speak of the current dilemma we are faced with, in particular, the dilemma that has our public health care providers up in arms as a result of statements made at a town hall meeting in New York last Thursday, some 2,000 miles away. As a public official, I am always aware that sometimes, to some people, words mean more than actions, and sometimes statements can be offensive when taken in or out of context. In the democracy we hold near and dear, we cannot and will not all share the same opinion. That is a right we should fervently defend. The right to have differing opinions, the right to disagree on issues. I also believe that as a proud developing nation, we should always have national health care at the forefront of our public discourse. With this in mind, I must say that I am saddened that in recent days, the discourse on health care has been one of he said, she said, as opposed to the real issues of patient care in Grenada. The fervor and offense taken by words uttered in Brooklyn appear to be misdirected. I started by saying we are all entitled to our own opinion, and I express mine. In the course of a 2.5-hour event in which much was said about healthcare in Grenada, the only takeaway by some is a 10-second statement which, in my opinion, has been taken out of context and blown out of proportion. I hold our providers of health care, our doctors, nurses, orderlies, drivers, and other ancillary service providers in high esteem. Many, if not all, have provided and continue to provide yeoman service. I want the public discourse on health care in Grenada to remain in the forefront. I want it to be about and have included in that discourse our very health care providers. I believe that the focus should be about the quality of patient care and how can we constantly improve on it. As a public official, many times I have had statements made about me in public which I strongly disagree with or take strong offense to. In some instances, by the very healthcare providers who collectively it is my primary mission to serve. I do not believe I have the right to withdraw my services or cause others to suffer because of such offenses, whether perceived or real. As a proud Grenadian and servant of the people, I move on and forward. As such, I judge others under the same rules that I judge myself. Let us have that discourse on health care. Let us have meaningful debate about improving health care. Let us talk about the facts that yesterday it took a fully functional ambulance 2 hours to get to someone in need. Not for lack of equipment, not for lack of nurses, orderlies, or doctors at our general hospital, but because of statements made some 2,000 miles away. Words. As well as a deliberate choice by some to ignore all the other positive statements made about our health system and our health care providers in Grenada. Should we not be discussing the fact that we have new ambulances on island and 5 more to arrive in the next month? And how best we can have them serve our people? Shouldn't we be discussing the soon-to-be commissioned Phase 2 of the hospital and how best we can serve our people? Shouldn't we be discussing electronic medical records and how best it will serve us as providers of health care and our people? Shouldn't we be discussing NHI, equipment on the wards, stocking of the pharmacy, budgets, HPV vaccination, and yes, our doctors, nurses, and ambulance drivers? Should we care about words or actions? Actions that benefit our people, patient care? At the beginning of this term in office, I initiated dialogue with all trade unions on what was meaningful to their membership with respect to health care in Grenada. In fact, the invitation was extended through the Grenada Trades Union Council. At that meeting, meaningful discussions were had on the state of affairs of our health system and what was important to the membership of the unions present. Sadly, the Public Workers Union, PWU, which represents most of the healthcare providers on island, was not present. But I did not then, nor do I now, take offense. Instead, I publicly offer another opportunity to have such discourse with the TUC at a time convenient to them. It would afford us an opportunity to update them on the developments since last we met, and also allow for the PWU to participate in such dialogue. When it comes to healthcare, the discourse goes way beyond an employer-employee dialogue. We on our own cannot serve all the issues relevant to the citizens of Grenada. I admire the passion with which our health workers set about their jobs, especially today. I just believe that passion is misdirected. Let us collectively and passionately discuss patient care. In particular, let us discuss what some of our patients are saying about us, that in some instances is even more offensive. Let us discuss how we are going to explain to the individual yesterday that he waited 2 hours in pain for an ambulance because of statements made 2,000 miles away last week. Let us look him in the eye and see what comfort it brings to him. I invite you to join me on that journey. I invite you to join me on the never-ending journey of seeking better health care for our citizens. I invite you to join me as I introduce to the team at the General Hospital our new Director of Hospital Services, Dr. Carol McIntosh, an obstetrician gynecologist, a Grenadian, in fact, a Carriacouan, who has chosen to return and serve to improve patient care. Let us talk scholarships and training and better working conditions for you and the people of Grenada. Let us talk about health care and in particular patient care. If we adopt the attitude that every time we discuss health care in a public forum, and if perchance something is said in that forum that we disagree with or find offensive, that we will down tools, so to speak, or to quote the new phrase, take a stress break, where will we go? Nowhere, and nowhere fast. And who will suffer? Our patients. Let us move forward together for better health care, better patient care, and a better Grenada. I thank you. Now, that's the statement that was issued yesterday, which was Tuesday afternoon, by Health Minister Nicholas Steele in response to the bit of an uproar over the past week regarding comments made in New York at a town hall meeting by Prime Minister Mitchell and to some extent by the minister himself. So, there you have it. Folks, keep an eye on this issue. I just hope they can sit, talk, kiss, and make up. We have enough problems to deal with in this country today. Enough. I think both sides have to be heard. Incidentally, when I read this whole thing started because apparently the Prime Minister referred to doctors and nurses as thieves. You know, they were taking things, pilfering things from the hospital. I found it kind of ironic when I read the statements from both of the unions. You heard it this morning, and you can go on back on Facebook and listen to what I read here to you this morning. As soon as we get the issues resolved with the GrenadaBroadcast.com website, we're going to put those releases up there as well. But I noted carefully that there was no specific denial by the unions to the comment which the Prime Minister made and which agitated so many people in this country and outside of this country. Just a little food for thought there. Okay. Let's see now. Take another little break here and we'll come on back with a national report right after this.
I'm always on the move. Training, traveling, competing. So it's good to know I have Co-op Bank in the palm of my hand.
Introducing e-banking, one of many customer convenience services from Grenada Cooperative Bank, and there's more to come.
It's swift, simple, and secure.
Welcome home.
Can I have a chicken lunch, please? Large.
Real nice today.
I don't want that.
But you just asked for a chicken lunch.
I don't have problem with the lunch. Afraid the container.
What is the problem with it?
These styrofoam containers, they don't good for the environment. They shorten with life.
What foolishness you telling me? So what you want me to use?
Put my food in this.
Where you get that?
At the food fair, where you could get all biodegradable food boxes and disposable food supplies like cups, plates, anything you could think about. Name it, it's there. And they don't harm the environment. Food fair, taking the lead in cleaning up and protecting the environment. Hey, like you take me advice, you get in your biodegradable food supplies.
Well, girl, I supporting who's supporting the environment. That is why I shop in at food fair.
Food fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets. Products Distributed by Hubbard's agency, Kirani James Boulevard.
Grenada Market has now introduced the Prime products to online shoppers in the UK via amazon.co.uk. Zebrapick, Nutmeg, Bobanday and Mobiback are now available, with more products being added gradually. These products are shipped across the UK and Europe free of charge for Amazon Prime members and backed by Amazon's reputable customer service. Avoid international shipping. Buy in your local area. Amazon.com in the USA, Amazon.ca in Canada, and Amazon.co.uk in UK and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
What's all the excitement about?
It seems that the Grenlec Community Partnership Initiative, GCPI, may be coming to an end.
I'm following this story. Did you know that over $22 million have been invested in community projects through the GCPI? Now, these organizations that are on the ground solving problems may lose their funding.
All because government has now passed a law that requires Grenlec to pay 5% of its pre-tax profits to a social fund controlled by a government-appointed committee. Remarkably, that's the same 5% that Grenlec put aside every year to fund community projects.
Do you know how Grenlec's community program started?
Not really.
Well, in 1993, when they made an offer to buy 50% of Grenlec's shares, WRB also proposed that Grenlec would give 5% of its pre-tax profits for community projects.
That's interesting. Then all this talk about the people's money is completely misleading. I have never heard our government making that claim about any other business that contributes to community work.
In fact, this 5% is money that all of Grenlec's more than 2,000 shareholders, including your neighbor Farmer Jones, are investing in the community instead of putting into their pockets. And we can't reasonably ask them to give up more, just because government wants to take control of the 5% already intended for the community.
I don't like the implication of this law, Watts. Firstly, Grenlec is the only business in Grenada to which this law applies. Secondly, Grenlec's contributions will go from directly serving community organizations in a non-political, non-partisan manner to one that is subject to political influence.
Right now, Grenlec's program is well developed and properly managed. Plus, many communities benefit. I've seen projects for schools, hospitals, elderly and children's homes, even playing fields being lit. And government has always had a say in which projects get funded, because a government representative sits on the GCPI committee.
That's true, and we don't understand the reason for the new law. We want to appeal to the government to reconsider it.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Health Minister says Prime Minister's statement at recent town hall meeting is being blown way out of proportion. Details to this story and more in the National Report. Welcome back. With the news in detail for today, Tuesday, the 2nd day of October 2018, I'm Delroy Lozan. Health Minister the Honorable Nicholas Steele says a statement made by Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell during a recent town hall meeting in New York is being taken out of context and is being blown way out of proportion. During the government's weekly post-cabinet briefing on Tuesday, Minister Steele said he is saddened that the discourse on health care has shifted from a focus on patient care in Grenada to one of he said, she said. Minister Steele said he holds all healthcare providers in high esteem as they continue to provide human service under challenging conditions and appealed for the focus now to be on quality of patient care and how it can be constantly improved.
Let us have that discourse on healthcare. Let us have meaningful debate about improving healthcare. Let us talk about the fact that yesterday it took a fully functional ambulance 2 hours to get to someone in need, not for lack of equipment, not for lack of nurses, not for lack of orderlies or doctors at our general hospital, but because of statements made some 2,000 miles away. Words. As well as a deliberate choice by some to ignore all the other positive statements made about our health system and our healthcare providers in Grenada at that event.
Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell issued a statement on Monday saying his comments about the inappropriate use of government resources for personal benefit were not meant to imply that all public officers are guilty of this. However, he said it was important to face the ugly truth that this has been happening and continues to happen across the public service, not only at the General Hospital, which was specifically referenced in response to a question on health. Minister Steele says the discussion now should be on the fact that there are new ambulances on island, with 5 more to arrive in the next month. He invited the healthcare workers to join him on the journey to better healthcare for all.
Should we be discussing the soon-to-be commissioned Phase 2 of the General Hospital and how best we can serve our people? Should we be discussing electronic medical records and how best it will serve us as healthcare providers and our people? Should we be discussing national health insurance, equipment on the wards, stocking of pharmacies, budgets, HPV vaccinations, and yes, our doctors and nurses and ambulance drivers, and how best we can serve our people? Should we care about words or actions? Actions that benefit our people, patient care.
The Chinese Navy hospital ship is back. The Ark Peace arrived in Grenada on Tuesday morning and is docked at the Melville Street port for the next 8 days. In 2015, the ship made its maiden voyage to Grenada and gave medical attention to over 9,000 Grenadians. 3 years later, it is back in Grenada's waters with more than 300 crew members.
Providing free medical and humanitarian service. Although almost 3 years have passed, I believe that this have become unforgettable memories for the people of Grenada.
That was Chinese Ambassador Dr. Zhao Yongshen. The hospital ship is equipped to provide medical checks including MRI, CT scan, eye exams and surgeries, ultrasounds, blood tests, massages, acupuncture and Chinese medicine, among others. Minister for Health, the Honorable Nicholas Steele, said the return of the Ark Peace speaks volume to the significance of Grenada-China relations.
Our relations between our two countries grows from strength to strength. Our peoples continue to benefit from the strengthening of those relations. But today marks one of those occasions that is unique. Such an occasion, similar, happened in 2015 with the visit of the Ark Peace, when 9,000 Grenadian lives were touched, indelibly touched. We cannot measure the difference that was made with respect to just simple checkups, lives that may have been saved, that will go on for generations to leave a mark from the relationships between our two countries.
Foreign Affairs Minister Peter David is deepened by the contribution the Chinese government continues to make in Grenada's development. He said the cooperation Grenada engaged in must assist in some areas of its development.
The Ark Peace is coming to deliver health care. It told me that that is what we want to see in the Caribbean. That as we declare our region a zone of peace, our cooperation must be in areas that assist in our development. I want to say to the members of the crew of the Ark Peace that we welcome you to Grenada. I want to say to the People's Republic of China that we are gratified that over 8,000 people received medical care or medical attention on the ship the last time it came. And I know that this time we will also have many thousands of Grenadians.
This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
The safety on our roads make this a major priority. Health of our people a crucial necessity. Accidents happen when road users are either irresponsible or inconsiderate in one way or the other. Play your part. Reduce your speed. Be attentive. It is your personal responsibility. Let 2017 be the start of no more road fatality. Be safe, be seen, be smart. So let's wise up as a nation. Get to your destination safe.
Welcome back. More than 500 reading glasses have been donated through the Reading Glasses Project by the Happy Hill Family Day Celebrations Committee through the support of the Lions Club International. Recipients of the project include the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development and Religious Affairs, the Royal Grenada Police Force, Her Majesty's Prison, the T.A. Marischal Community College, TAMCC, and the Child Protection Authority. We'll have the details from Annette Moore.
The hand-in-over ceremony took place on September 26th at the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development and Religious Affairs. The project is coordinated by the Happy Hill Family Day Celebrations Committee, which is a community-based voluntary organization which has been in operation for 25 years. Specific focus is placed on the youth and elderly.
The organization's main purpose and focus is one of improving quality of life. And we do this through various events, and our main areas of priority are education, health, and social events as it relates to social well-being.
Sandy David noted the importance of beneficiaries knowing the prescription of their glasses in order to match glasses to visual needs. She says approximately 50% of the reading glasses provided will go to the Ministry of Education's Resource Center for the Blind, which supports students with visual impairments.
We have been coming across a lot of students with visual impairments, and they are assessed and sent for assessments. And there are some families who cannot afford the glasses, and this will be now another venture in helping us into aiding students and their vision. But we also want to remind parents that it's important that you check the vision of your students, of your children.
The glasses will be stored at the Tantin campus with our campus nurse, so that students and faculty would be able to access it and use it on a rotational basis. We'll also send a compliment to the external campuses.
Child Protection Authority has a lot of viewing of files and the reviewing of certain documents, and I think that this initiative is a good one from the Happy Hill Family Day Celebration Committee, and as such we will be using the donations of the glasses within our different departments.
At Her Majesty's prisons, glasses will be used by inmates who are one of the most vulnerable groups in society.
We'll have the glasses stationed at the library, where we do have inmates in charge, so that we'll have proper checks and balances, so that we don't have persons making malicious use of it. I think it goes a long way towards the rehabilitative process. Again, we want to say how grateful we are to that committee.
The Royal Grenada Police Force will provide the allotment of glasses for use by law enforcement officers.
Particularly with the use of technology these days, many gadgets, you have computers and laptops and so forth, and they do have a strain on the eyes. So this, in fact, would assist officers in ensuring that they keep their health in check, and at the same time to assist where there will be a need in any particular given time.
For the National Report, I'm Annette Moore.
And that story has brought us to the end of the National Report for today, Tuesday, 2nd October 2018. Recapping the main story, Health Minister says Prime Minister's statement at recent Town Hall meeting is being blown way out of proportion. On behalf of the entire news team here at the GIS, thank you for viewing. I'm Delroy Lozan.
Grenada Market has now introduced the Prime products to online shoppers in the UK via amazon.co.uk. Zebrapick, Nutmeg, Gudday, and Mobiback are now available, with more products being added gradually. These products are shipped across the UK and Europe free of charge for Amazon Prime members and backed by Amazon's reputable customer service. Avoid international shipping. Buy in your local area. Amazon.com in the USA, Amazon.ca in Canada, and Amazon.co.uk in UK and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Hi, I'm Gloria. My family and I travel all around the world, lighting up homes and businesses just like yours. And lately, we've been hearing a lot of talk about electricity.
Yes. Are my rates the highest in the world?
Your rate is definitely not the highest. Grenadians are paying a similar rate to some islands in the Caribbean, and in some cases, even less.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Grenadian General Insurance Company, strength and stability. Grenadian General Insurance Company, tell your friends, tell your family. We cover householders comprehensive, motor and even fire too. Contractors all risk burglary, public liability, professional indemnity, directors liability, and wait, we still have more. Come and find out more what you're waiting for.
We are located on Scott Street, St. George's. For more information, call 440-2434.
Tell everybody.
Alrighty, folks, just about time to pull the curtain down. It's, let's see here, 7 minutes away from 10 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. Let me say a quick hello to some of the folks there on Facebook. Benign Neglect, hello Benign Neglect. Chester's out there in Switzerland. Maureen Batiste saying good morning. Merle Douglas. And I see here on Google Map this morning, there are also people out there in Concord in Canada, in Brantford in Canada, in New York, Stuttgart, Germany, Brooklyn, New York. Hey guys, thanks a lot for joining us. Spread the word that we're here. And again, just in case you missed any part of this morning's program, don't worry about it. It's going to be up on Facebook in just a wee bit. Internet behaved pretty good this morning. We're thankful. You hear a lot of stuff every day, my dear friends, and just before I go, I want to share some words with you, which will probably be the most important words that you hear in this 24-hour period. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way that you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure that you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, "Let me take the speck out of your eye," when all the time there's a plank in your own eye. You hypocrite. First, take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. My dear friends, God knows what tomorrow holds, but I do wish you and yours a very good day. Be blessed. Let the love of God fill your heart. See you tomorrow.